I am a self-professed thriftaholic and I rarely ever buy anything that is not secondhand. And today I'm going to be sharing some things that you should be on the hunt for at your local thrift store. Welcome back to my channel. I am Julie, and here on my channel I share frugal living tips and tricks to save you money and simplify your life. So many things are made ridiculously cheap these days that you will be spending more money in the long run to replace those things. Focusing on thrift and antique pieces will give you a better chance at finding something that is quality and will stand the test of time. And today I'm going to be sharing the best tips and tricks to decorate and organize your home with thrift and secondhand items without cluttering your home. My first tip is do not buy impulsively. Sometimes you'll impulsively buy something and then bring it home and realize you have no idea where you're going to put that thing. Always have a list so that you always know what you need and where exactly it's going to go in your home. I always keep a list on my phone so that I can just check things off exactly as I go. And since I'm very familiar now with all the layouts of all of our thrift stores, I've even categorized it to the area of the store in which I can find that certain item. It just helps me get around the store that much quicker. I have my list right there so that I don't have to make an unnecessary trip back if I forget something. Also, try to become familiar with the day that your local thrift store has sales. Our Salvation Army always has Family Day on Wednesday, so that is when I shop and I get the best deals when things are half the price of what they originally priced them at. Number 2, stay away from knickknacks. You know, those small little tchotchkes? Too many of those things tends to make your shelves look cluttered and busy and just tends to collect dust too. Instead, try to stick with larger decor pieces if you must, and then incorporate things that are functional like books, plants. It's nice to have things to read and some greenery to bring a little bit of life into the room. Another option is to have a set of bookends. I found these on Facebook Marketplace a couple years ago to keep books upright on a shelf, and they also work as a functional decor piece. Number 3, use woven baskets for storage. I have a whole nother video in which I repurposed old trash, including gift baskets. You can also use larger woven baskets to tote things around the house, and they are excellent for storage and look very aesthetically pleasing. I really think that they fit in so nicely with that cozy cottage look that I have in my own home, but they're also really great to contain any clutter that you have in the room, especially children's toys. I recently found one at my local Salvation Army and then the other one at the antique store that I visited this past weekend. You can also hang one by your entryway to hide anything that you grab before you head out the door, like your car keys, sunglasses, or even your wallet. And then seasonally, you can change out different flowers or twigs or anything that you'd like to put in there for display. I especially love to use the larger ones to store any throw blankets. It's just another way to stay warm this winter. Blankets provide a very cozy feel and look to the room, and then you can just pull it out whenever you need it. I recently found a very cute and soft white knit throw blanket at my local thrift store, and so I place that on our couch, and I love cozying up with that with a good book and a cup of tea. Number 4, wooden boxes. These are actually one of my favorite items to find so that I can place items inside of them and display on my shelves or my coffee table. They're also just a really great conversational piece, and I just love the different wood finishes. I have a pair that I picked up at HomeGoods a couple years back because I love the blue and white detail on the top, but I also picked one up from the antique store this past weekend, which was $8. I thought it was a great deal considering the condition and the detail on it. I use these all the time to store photographs, papers, TV remotes, coasters, and any other random things so that they're not just lying around on our coffee tables or on the shelves. Number 5, pitchers, vases, and bowls. Whether it's glass or ceramic, pitchers are great to serve your beverages in for a party or special occasion. They're a beautiful cottage-inspired decor piece on your hutch or displayed in your kitchen, or they can be filled with some flowers or stems from your own backyard. And I also love decorative bowls. I have one with beautiful blue and white floral details, and I use this to keep fruit on our counter most times, but when I'm not using it, I will display it on our living room shelf. Number 6 is wood and silver trays and utensils. Whether it's a wood cutting board or a silver tray, I love using these for organizing. I actually use one under our sugar and creamer jar. I like to use one for when we have afternoon tea, and they're usually very inexpensive and great ways to organize an otherwise chaotic display of a mess. You could even use a small one to display your small day-to-day jewelry and accessories. I love wooden cutting boards because not only are they functional to cut up your fruits and vegetables, but you can also place them under hot pans or even display them on your countertop. They just bring more of that warm cottage feel to your home. And so too with utensils. You can pay the fraction of a price that you would otherwise brand new. I tend to throw mine right into my tall pitcher so that I can have them right there on display and then grab them whenever I need them while I'm cooking or serving food. Number 7, mason and glass jars. I also talked about mason jars in my things not to trash video, but again, I love using glass jars to store all of our pantry items like flour, sugar, tea, coffee, and other sorts of things that you want on hand but still want to look aesthetically pleasing. It's nice to have an open pantry display so that it is accessible to you but also doesn't look chaotic. You could also use apothecary jars to display bath salts and different things on your bathroom shelves. I also have found a few clear makeup organizers for my bathroom to display my makeup and cosmetics. They were only like $1.50 on Family Day, so that was a really good deal. And be careful with the jars because sadly, I actually bought one of the jars that I showed you, and unfortunately, I didn't realize that it had a big crack underneath the enclosure part, and so I did have to trash it. So be sure, guys, to check anytime you go to the store for any cracks and dents before you purchase. Number 8, furniture. I have actually bought almost all of the tables in our house secondhand or from the thrift store. It's really neat to sand them down to the original wood grain, and I actually did that with our dining table. In fact, if you'd like to see some videos on how I flip furniture, I will leave that playlist for you below to check out next. Sanding things down to their original wood grain brings so much character and warmth into your home. It's like the wood has a bit of a story to tell, and you don't have to worry about dents and scratches from your kiddos since it'll just blend right in. In fact, anytime our kids are a little bit rough on our table, I will just say, it just adds character. You could also just paint the piece the exact color that you want it to be. I actually did this with our entry table. It used to be this really ugly green color, and I revamped it in our dining room makeover episode, so that is where you can find that. But I painted it a dark navy so that it would match better with our living room rug. I also found a really small white table off of Facebook Marketplace that I placed beside our couch, and it was absolutely free. So now we have a place to put all of our books and a little candle and whatever we need in the morning when we want to read. I also far prefer to find tables that have cabinets on the bottom as just opposed to just like it being totally open. That way, not only do you have an extra opportunity for storage, but also whenever you have those open bottoms, it tends to just get very dusty, and then you feel like you have to fill it with clutter, and then again, it just makes it look more cluttered. And be sure to check any drawers and doors to make sure that they're working properly so that you know ahead of time if you will need to fix those things. I really want to find a new table for our entryway so that I can actually place our kids' gloves, shoes, hats, coats, all of those things, and I hope to find one that has cabinets so that it is hidden but it's still there and accessible whenever we go in and out of the home. But having cabinets also serves to have places to put like board games, school supplies, toys, and any other miscellaneous items that you just don't want out in the open. Number 9, invest in dinnerware. Glasses, mugs, cake plates, dinner plates, soup bowls, pie plates, anything you can use both to serve a meal and place on a shelf for display purposes. You can find some absolutely beautiful pieces with ornate and floral details. I love the Victorian vintage china. I would definitely say that English cottage seems to be popping up more and more, and I love that style in my own home. So I try to focus on blues and whites, especially ironstone, whites, and any other neutral colors that will fit in with any holiday occasion. Casserole dishes with lids are especially great because it'll keep your food warm and keep prying fingers out of your food before it's dinner time. I'd actually love to know, what kinds of items do you guys tend to collect, and what do you usually look for in thrift stores? Let me know in the comments below. Number 10, lamps. I have found almost every single lamp in our home on Facebook Marketplace or from the thrift store. There's really no excuse to buy one brand new. Most of them are in great condition, or you could just paint them the color that you want them to be. It's a fraction of the price of a brand new one. I know an obstacle can be that the lampshade itself is not in the greatest condition, but the lamp is. But honestly, I've been able to find so many lampshades also from the thrift store. If you want to give it a more French country cottagey feel, a pleated lampshade is becoming more and more increasingly popular, and I think that's really cute. Do you guys like that style? I feel like those add a lot of warmth and character to your home as well. Number 11, artwork. Brand new artwork can be very expensive, especially if you're looking for like a larger piece, say above your fireplace. I actually painted an old canvas and did this artwork myself. It was a total DIY project. I wanted an abstract landscape, and I saved so much money just doing it myself. I did see a few nice oil paintings at the antique store, but they were a little bit pricey, but I'm thinking of adding some to our living room. Do you guys like the vintage look, or do you prefer the more mainstream minimal lines? Number 12, candlesticks. I would say this is one of the biggest things that thrift stores are filled to the brims with. Brass and glass are the materials that I tend to gravitate towards the most. Just adding a few candles to every part of the room brings a more cozy cottage element to the home. I picked up a couple of glass tapers for our dining room, and our kids are definitely more well behaved whenever they're lit for dinner time. I actually found this brass taper candlestick holder for $5 at the antique store. I like to light it early in the morning or late into the evening and curl up with a nice book on our couch. Number 13, clothes. I have found so many amazing clothes at the thrift store. Lots of vintage inspired skirts and dresses. In fact, I actually just got this one today. There truly is just no excuse to buying brand new. Instead of having a closet overflowing with clothes, try to stick to just a few key pieces. That way you know you'll want to wear them and they will not be cluttering your closet. If you'd like to see my capsule wardrobe where I go over all the details of my own closet, I'll have it linked in the description box below for you to check out next. If you want to know more ways to save money, check out my frugal living playlist. All right, now I want to know, what sorts of things do you look for whenever you go thrifting? And where do you normally shop? Do you normally go to Goodwill or Salvation Army, or is there another thrift store in your area? Also, would you like to see a thrift haul and thrift shop with me episode here on my channel? Comment thrift below if you'd like me to do that next. And if you did enjoy this video, please give it a big thumbs up so that I know that it was helpful for you. Subscribe and hit the bell so that you're notified on more ways that you can save this year. See you next time. Peace and blessings.